Whew. Um, I know I've been gone for a month again. This is my second disappearance from YouTube. So I hope it's my last because the last time I had absence for YouTube, it was for a month. But hopefully this is the last time I have to disappear because stuff happens and I just can't get on to do the videos. So hopefully I won't have to disappear from YouTube again or have a YouTube absence. I'm doing a review for Monday Night Raw. What was the date? September the 3rd, 2012. 9/3/2012. I have, like I said, I haven't done a review in a long time, so let's see how this goes. I wanted to do it, to upload the video earlier, but I just didn't have the time to do it, so I'm uploading it today, so I'm going to start doing my other videos. I'm trying to get back on schedule, so I'm slowly getting back there, but just have to be patient with me. um, it took place from Chicago, live from Chicago, which is CM Punk's hometown. And the show opens with CM Punk attacking Jerry the King Lawler. Obviously they've been having this feud going on for the past couple of weeks. I haven't seen SmackDown, Raw, Superstars. I haven't seen any wrestling shows since my last review, so I have no idea what happened during the whole month while I wasn't doing reviews. So I'm playing catch up. Obviously, they had a feud going on for the past couple of weeks, and CM Punk attacked the King, Jerry, before the show started. Um, Also, since I haven't seen Raw in a couple of weeks, I noticed that there's a new Raw intro. I like the way Raw is set up, the way the new Raw is set up, and everything is organized, the new stage, everything. Um, but the show officially starts with Sheamus coming out. And then CM Punk comes out and he gets a good reaction from the crowd. He basically comes out and says that Jerry the King Lawler attacked him backstage, which provoked him. He provoked him, which gave him a reason to attack the King. But I just don't believe that. I think CM Punk attacked him first. And then AJ comes out and announces the two main events for the night. Rio versus Cena and Punk versus Sheamus. But the first official match of the night was Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler. It was 15 minutes long. It was a good match. I mean, I just believe Randy Orton is the face of the WWE. People disagree with me. I've done videos about it on my channel. You have to go back and check them out. They're probably like 2 or 3 months ago since I've been doing this, but Randy Orton is awesome. He's a good wrestler, despite being his past or whatever, or being suspended. He's a good wrestler. So, and Dolph Ziggler, he's been improving over the past months. I would say he's better than he was a year ago or 2 years ago. So Dolph Ziggler has really been improving, but Randy Orton is just the Viper. I mean, he dominated most of the match, really. And of course, but Ziggler was able to win by grabbing Randy's tights, or call them tights. They aren't tights, underwear, trunks. Grabbed his trunks and he's able to pull off the 3 count. Randy Orton had the match. Technically, Randy Orton won, but Ziggler was able to get the 3 count. And I also noticed that during this Raw that they must have been running. Keep feelings. They must have been running way behind because they kept cutting people interests off. Like they kept like they was just speeding the show out before Randy Orton got a chance to go backstage. The Miz was already coming out. The Miz came out and to ringside, and he basically took Jerry's position, the King. I'm gonna call him the King. He took over the King's position at ringside with Michael Cole as the announcer for the night. The Miz, I have to say, he's a good commentator. The Miz is a good commentator. Um, Also, I haven't missed this, but obviously, apparently, Dane Bryan and Kane, oh, excuse me, were taking anger management classes, which to me is very, very funny. They were basically doing different exercises, trying to trust each other. It was funny, funny stuff. Where they at one point where Dane Bryan had to lean back and Kane had to catch him. I thought Kane was going to let Dane Bryan fall. But obviously there was this guy, I forgot what his name, Howard or something, and they both had to catch him and they just both let him fall. So it was a funny segment on Raw. Also the Dream Team, 619 and Sin Cara tag team together. It was a good match. It could have been longer. It could have been longer. You know what? I want to see them go against each other. Rey Mysterio has been a good wrestler. I wouldn't say he's lost his touch. And Sin Cara is basically, he's a good wrestler. He may mess up a couple moves here and there. He's younger. Sin Cara is younger and Rey Mysterio is more experienced, I would say. I would love to see them both go at it in the ring together. That would be nice to see, but they've been tag team match, so hopefully we get to see them go one-on-one before Rey Mysterio retires. And while he still can compete at a high level. So Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio wins against Tenzai and Cody Rhodes. I don't even know why Tenzai is still under contract. I've been saying it for a long time, but just get rid of him. But Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara were able to pull off the win. It was a good match. It could have been longer. They're a good team. But like I said, it was a good 10 minutes match. They kept cutting the entrances. Sure, they wouldn't even let the person get to the ring before they started. You got halfway to the ring and they started the next person. Means the show was just running way behind. And then after that we were supposed to have Sheamus versus CM Punk, the main event, champion versus champion that AJ has set up earlier in the beginning of the show. But CM Punk just walks out the arena. He gets in this black Chrysler 300. And then AJ is forced to find another opponent for excuse me, I'm tired. It's 12:23 a.m. He's forced to find another opponent for Sheamus. And Del Rio, during this time, Del Rio comes out and he's ringside since he's the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Swagger comes out. I mean, she couldn't find nobody else. I mean, she chooses Swagger. How you go from CM Punk versus Sheamus to Sheamus versus Swagger? It was a 4-minute match, and Sheamus was able to beat Jack Swagger submission style. And then after Sheamus wins, Del Rio comes in and he attacks Sheamus after the match. But Sheamus was still standing, and he gives a bro kick to Ricardo Rodriguez because he pushed Del Rio out the way. So Ricardo took the hit for Del Rio once again. He took a bro kick for him. And then after that, we had some Divas action, which is nice to see because they don't really get to be in the spotlight as much. We have Eve versus Caitlyn. Ever since Eve hasn't been with Laurinaitis, excuse me, she left People Power. I don't know. She's been going kind of downhill lately, I would say. Um, but she went against Caitlyn. I haven't seen SmackDown, but I've heard that she's Booker T's assistant because she's beat Caitlyn. So it was Eve versus Caitlyn. Layla was ringside, the WWE Divas champion. It was 5 minutes, which is pretty long for a Divas match because Divas really don't get that much time in the spotlight. The match, without the entrance, the matches are like 2 to 3 minutes, really. This was like 5 minutes. It was a long Divas match. And I want to say that after that, Eve was able to pull off the win. I wrote that in a side note. You know, I take notes on my I know it has SpongeBob on the front, but I write my stuff right there. AJ doesn't have control of the show. I knew from the beginning that she wasn't going to be a good general manager. Yeah, she had a lot of popularity because they were doing that Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Kane storyline. It was like a four-way love triangle. But now that that's over, she hasn't. I don't know. They should have kept her in the Divas division. Leave the Divas alone. They shouldn't have ever let Eve come out and join People Power. They shouldn't have let AJ become Raw General Manager. Leave them in the Divas division. Work on the Divas division and let somebody else be in control of Raw. Like Edge, Vicky, Teddy Long. Bring back Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon. I don't care. Let somebody else do it. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, who cares, you know? But AJ, I don't know. It's going downhill. Superstars are leaving. I mean, Swagger leaves, CM Punk leaves. It's just too much for her to handle. It's just, I don't know. Somebody has to come and save Raw. Even bring Triple H back. Even though he retired from wrestling, some people say he's a great wrestler. He's a good wrestler to me. I wouldn't say he's the greatest wrestler of all time. I would not say that. He's a good wrestler, but I don't know. AJ hasn't really been doing too good as Raw General Manager. Then we had Jinder Mahal versus Ryback. I'm glad to see Jinder Mahal on a main show because he used to be on Superstars a lot, which is now online. So to see Jinder Mahal on primetime television is good, very good. Going against Ryback. Jinder Mahal is very good competition for Ryback because Ryback matches are normally squash matches. They only last for like 2 to 3 minutes. Whenever Jinder Mahal and Ryback get in a match, it's at least 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Jinder Mahal has been improving. He's a good wrestler. He's good competition. He just needs to change his gimmick, I guess. He's a good wrestler. I mean, obviously, if he can last more than a minute in the ring with Ryback, he's a good wrestler. So, and they keep pushing Ryback like he's supposed to be this new Goldberg. I just don't see it. Because when I see Ryback, I don't think of Goldberg. I just think of this big muscle guy. I don't know who he's supposed to be. Some people say he's the new Goldberg. If he's trying to be Goldberg, he has a long way to go. And then after that, AJ announced that Del Rio and Cena's match will be a Falls Count Anywhere match. And then we had Daniel Bryan versus Kane. It was a Twitter poll. Twitter poll. Where they hugged it out. They were a tag team or they went 1-on-1 against each other. The Twitter WWE Universe voted on Twitter that they hug it out. And for like 10 minutes they tried to hug, which is very, very awkward watching that. But finally, after a couple of minutes, they end up giving each other a hug, which is very awkward, I must say. And then they started fighting. So obviously the anger management classes didn't work. And they started fighting outside the ring. And Dane Bryan hits Kane with a chair and runs up the ramp. So you know next week, Kane is coming for Dane Bryan. Sign him up for some more anger management classes because they didn't work. Get a refund because they didn't work. And then it was a United States Championship match. Santino versus Antonio Cesaro with Oksana. Santino deserves to be the United States champion again. I mean, I like him. I like to miss the United States champion. He's a hard worker. He's a good guy, but Antonio has the United States champion, and he's able to pull off the win. It was a good 5 minutes match. So I don't know what to think of Antonio. He seems like to be a good wrestler, but he needs a push from WWE. He is a good wrestler. I like to see Santino have the United States Championship again, but we just have to wait and see. But since Antonio has it, let's see how WWE will use him in the future. I don't know. He looks like a good wrestler, but I don't know. We have to wait to make a judgment of him. Then we have Zack Ryder versus Heath Slater. Zack Ryder is good. He needs a push from WWE. He's a good wrestler. I'm glad to see him on Raw because he's normally on Superstars a lot. I'm glad he gets to get main attention, be on a Monday Night Raw, which has more viewers than Superstars is live. He gets more exposure. Zack Ryder is also a good guy. He has a fan base. Like I said, he just needs to work on his wrestling skills. But Zack Ryder was able to pull off the win. So I'm happy that Zack Ryder got the win. And I'm glad to see him on a main event show like like Raw. A big show. And then Vicky comes out and she calls out AJ. And this is also funny because she pretends that she gets this steel chair in the middle of the ring and she talks to it like AJ is there. Now, if you didn't, it was to me, it was funny because WWE, they got that from the Republican convention. If you're a Republican, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not a Republican, so but I did see this where Clint Eastwood, he was pretending to be talking to Barack Obama at the Republican convention. And so WWE stole that from the Republican convention where Vicky Guerrero was pretending to be talking to AJ in a steel chair. So if you missed the connection that it's related to the Republican convention, search YouTube, Republican convention, Clint Eastwood, it should pop up. So it was kind of funny to me because I wasn't expecting that, but it was funny. And also, I think the Democratic the Democratic convention was today. I think it was today. Well, yesterday. So everyone make sure you vote whether you're Democrat or Republican. So let me see. Like I said, we had that. And then Vicky slaps AJ, but AJ couldn't slap her back because the board of directors said that AJ is basically said that she's not allowed to hit any WWE superstars or anyone related to WWE. So Vicky gets away with the slap. I think we need a new Raw general manager. AJ has been a Raw general manager for how long? A month and a half, almost 2 months. It's time for a new Raw general manager. It really is. Then we have Cena versus Del Rio. The main event, Falls Count Anywhere. Del Rio comes out in a red Ferrari F430. The match was 15 minutes long. It was a good match, good physical match. I mean, this was a good Raw. I haven't seen Raw in a month. So coming back, I missed the whole month of Raw, but coming back and seeing this, I was happy to see it. I really was. Um, but towards the end of the match, while they were fighting backstage, because the fight it started outside the ring, started inside the ring, and then worked its way backstage to the parking lot area. Um, CM Punk appears out of nowhere and just attacks John Cena, which helped Del Rio pull off the win, and Del Rio walks away. And then CM Punk gets in his black Chrysler 300. It must have been sponsored by Chrysler somehow, because they're using the Chrysler. Somehow it must have been, they must have sponsored this show. They must have some type of advertising going on, because that was the second time we saw the black Chrysler. Um, and CM Punk gets in a car, and Paul Heyman is driving. And I'm just like, what? Why would CM Punk be getting in a car with Paul Heyman? I'm excited to see next week's Raw. WWE Raw and SmackDown are like soap operas. Really, like, I'm excited to see what happens next week. It's like As the World Turns, or I don't know, other soap operas that come on during the day. I don't know what they're called. uh, it's like a soap opera, really. So Paul Heyman, he's supposed to be representing Brock Lesnar. Is he now representing CM Punk? We have to wait and see next week on Raw. But make sure you check out my WWE Raw predictions this Sunday. I'm save these papers, and I'll go on a little bit more about it next week. This Raw was good. I haven't seen Raw in a month. I give it a 10 out of 10. It was a good Raw. Despite AJ being a horrible general manager, this Raw was pretty good. I enjoyed it. 10 out of 10. Can't wait to see next week's Raw. I enjoyed it. And be on the lookout this week for my Superstars review, my TNA review, my SmackDown review, and my Raw predictions review. They are all coming this week. I'm coming back to YouTube. Slowly I'm coming back. I missed doing the videos. I missed being in front of the camera, so I'm back. If you like this video, you can like it. If you dislike the video, you can dislike it. Leave your comments. If they require a response, they will get a response within 24 hours. Make sure you check out my channel. All my wrestling videos are on there. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you come back to my channel and watch my videos. So I'll be doing more videos, so you have to look out for them.